For the past 2 weeks, I've been putting the WestCreek Helyx through the paces, doing different playing styles, doing a song with it, and now I've got my final thoughts on a beautiful and affordable guitar. This is the WestCreek Helyx. Welcome back to Strings and Pucks. This is Jeremy Laura. If it's your first time here, please click like and subscribe. Thank you for stopping by. So a few weeks ago, I won a WestCreek Helyx from the good guys over at Fret Not Guitars. I did a video on that. The link will be in the description. This was an unexpected gift for sure, but also a little bit of a challenge because I typically play more vintage style instruments because I'm always looking for clean tones to go with my electric and acoustic coffee shop performances. Of course, I use this in my cover of the song The Weight by the band. There'll be a link to that in the description. So just some final thoughts. On my unboxing video, I pulled this out and I got some first tones from it. After that video, I went ahead and took this to the bench and just to do some cleanup. The frets were a little bit scratchy, needed a fresh set of strings for sure. And just one quick note, these guitars that are so affordable and such great value, plan on investing in a new set of strings at least. And if you have some basic tools to do your own fretboard cleanup, oil the fretboard, at least polish the frets if you're not comfortable with where you can level them. There are plenty of guys to show you how to do that on the internet. Ted Talks Guitars is someone who's taught me a lot. But I did just a basic cleanup. I used these are Scotch-Brite pads I got from Stu Mac. If you don't want to use sandpaper, if you don't want to use steel wool, these are really good just for the cleanup. So it comes in a 3-pack, about $3. Starting with the red, this is supposed to be about the equivalent of a 400 grit sandpaper, and that's your basic clean. Now on this one, I actually put some naphtha cleaner on the fretboard and polished it in with this. This is an old trick I'd learned of how to clean up a fretboard real quick, just if there's anything on it. Naphtha's really strong. It's essentially kind of like lighter fluid, but that was my first go. I put the naphtha right on the fretboard and cleaned it with this. After a wipe down, I went into these guys. The gray Scotch-Brite is supposed to be the equivalent of about 2,000 grit sandpaper, and I went ahead, polished it up, wiped it down. The white is supposed to be about 2,500, so you get obviously a really nice polish. Nothing falls off like you do with sandpaper or the steel wool. You still have to wipe down the fretboard, especially with the red, because those fibers will kind of get on there. So you'll have to do some cleanup in between, but just use a clean cloth or a rag. I then did a lemon oil treatment, but before that I used the lizard spit cloths Ted Talks Guitars turned me onto, and by that time the frets felt just absolutely like butter. So after scrubbing them, using the lizard spit, these felt incredible. I used the lemon oil, and then I used the Fret Nomad F1 oil, and this fretboard was really thirsty. I don't know what you'll get, but I ended up doing about 3 runs of oil on there before it really started to stay soaked in and, you know, give you a nice color. Slapped on a brand new set of Ernie Ball 9s, the pink pack, and once I did that, it completely transformed the playing experience to where I liked it, but now I was really enjoying playing this guitar. So again, if you get affordable guitar, if you can do those basic things, whether you're using these or some sandpaper, makes a huge difference in the playability. Clean the frets, put some strings on. So just to walk through again, these are standard sealed tuners. They're non-locking. Black hardware, really nice. Roasted maple neck. The nut, it actually feels like a bone nut. Stainless steel ball end frets. Beautiful fretboard. And again, you've got this Telecaster shape, this beautiful blue burst, and then a floating trem. 2-point, it's kind of like the Wilkinson floating trems. I take the access cover off, just makes string changes a lot easier. I just prefer it. But this trem, really nice. You use an included Allen key, tighten it in, and then you can just set it wherever you want, and it'll hold steady. It's really handy. I don't use a trem a lot, but when I do, that's a great feature to have. Stays in tune pretty well, even using the trem with some fresh strings on there. You've got your kill switch, you've got your volume, you've got your tone, and then both of these pull up to coil tap the two pickups. So you do have a lot of tonal options, and that's what probably ended up making this a much better fit for me than I thought it would be. So I'm going to go through the tones now again. This is all cleaned up. These pickups are really dark and mid-rangey. I had to dial back the bass a little bit, and you still get a nice amount of growl in full humbucker mode. But this is clean with just a little bit of delay. This is the neck humbucker. Middle. Bridge, full humbucker, clean. Bridge and coil tap. You see it gets quite a bit brighter too, not just quieter. Compare that to the humbucker. You get natural dirt with the push of that humbucker pickup. It's almost like a volume boost. It gets you some nice clipping, but middle position, fully coil tapped. And that's really what I like for rhythm. Compared to full humbucker mode. See that big boost in bass, you get some more grit. Right, neck position, coil tapped. And compared to full humbucker. So very usable coil tap tones. Now this is clearly built for distortion, so I'm going to use the Johnny 3-bar OCD Germanium clone to get some heat on this. This is the bridge position, full humbucker. Here's coil tapped. So you can hear it cleans up quite a bit. All right, this is middle position, full humbucker mode. Back to humbucker. Neck position, full humbucker. Coil tapped. Back to full humbucker. So you can hear there's a big difference in that. The coil taps really brought this alive for me. So just final thought. First on the tremolo. When I use a trem, it's usually just to accent what I'm playing. I don't do any crazy tricks. So I'll take a line like something the Cranberries did. I'll just add the trem. So I'm just using it when I hit the notes just to get a little different feel. Add a little dirt. Not sure if you heard it. Addie said hi. She's kind of hiding over in the corner there. Hi, Addie. So very usable trem for me, and again holds tune pretty well. So a lot to like on this. And now, you know, the $220 question: is this a guitar I would have bought? Honestly, so if I went to a music store and I sat down and this was there and I picked it up, if it felt the way it felt after I cleaned it up, new strings, new frets, I looked at the price, I heard the sounds, yeah, I actually probably would have bought this. Which surprises me because it's not something that's normally in my wheelhouse. Great for the money and really good guitar, really solid guitar. If it stays in the collection a long time, I'll probably upgrade the tuners, like something with a little higher ratio and you know, something probably locking because of the trem. And the pickups are a little darker than I like. So I would probably do something more classic, like an overwound PAF for coil tapping. But overall, very good guitar. Again, if it felt the way it felt after I'd cleaned the frets and fretboard, I would have enjoyed playing this. And yeah, for the price, that's something I would have gone for. Of course, there's a kill switch too. I never remember to use it. It's just not something I use. It's a cool feature, but anyway, thank you again to Fretnot and to the WestCreek Helyx, to the WestCreek Guitars for making such a great affordable instrument. This week, my coffee mug is from Ubi. This is the classic design to encouraging you to embrace the suck. Addie says hello. She's under my feet right now. Let's see if we can get her on camera. Hold on. There she is. There she is. Go on. Want some coffee? It is okay to give them. I'm kidding. Don't give them coffee. What are you doing? What are you doing? You want to say hi? You want to say hi to Ted Talks Guitars and say hi to Ubi? Say hi, everybody. All right, if you're watching this on the premiere, if you don't say hi to Addie, that's cruel. Say hi in the comments. Say hi to Brian. Say hi to Searching for Tone. Oh, she likes the pick. Oh, I'll get you a pick on the chin. Say hi to everybody. You're going to sit down, aren't you? I will eventually get a playing sample. I'll be using a loop. It'll be an E minor loop, just playing around with the different pickups. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, thank you to the guys at Fretnot. Thank you to WestCreek Guitars. and I'll talk to you again soon.